welcome in. Oh, I gotta go live on TikTok too. God, I am a giddy goat. But yeah. But I hope everybody's had a banger of a weekend. Speaking of that role, did you have an update on the voice? One sec, Kate. Hold off those awesome questions. Type it out like I said, because it's got to make sense in the. It's got to make sense in the thing. Type it out like I gave it to you. Just do it. Kate did not get preloaded with questions. All right, anybody that accuses me of that, you know. All right. Anybody accusing me of preloading Kate with questions, I'll ban you. All right. All right, just hold on a sec. All right. Hey, everybody on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. Good seeing you all. Welcome in. It is Sunday, the 7th of June. We are here ready to talk about our Sunday confessions. We're here to confess. I'm going to confess something. For some reason, not OBS, Stream Elements won't let me reset my thingo. So we're currently at 33 subs today. So I'll tell you what. I'll see if is it working. It's still not working yet. I don't know why it's not working. Sub goal. Oh, here we go. Okay. Our sub goal is 50. There we go. If we hit that, you beauty. So exactly like you said, right? Yeah. No. Whatever you're getting up to. Pez, what are your thoughts? Okay. Well, just hold off. I'm just doing intros first, Kate. Hold off for a second. All right. Okay. I'm upset they called it a Revelations. It missed the opportunity to be called Final Fantasy. Was it Confession? I'm upset that they called 7 Revelations. It missed the opportunity to call it Final Fantasy 7 Red Dead Redemption Duchess Rides Again, the Yeehaw Diaries. I know. All right, if you could have one celebrity, if you could take any character from any video game and put them in the next Final Fantasy as like a guest character, don't you think that we should be what do you call it? Fucking don't you think we should be putting Dutch from Red Dead Redemption 2 in it? So, and it takes place in between Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. So like Dutch is alive and we know he's going to survive. So, or if you could take a video game character out of their universe, their IP, right? Let's just say, okay, could you imagine, right? Let's take Atreus from God of War, right? And put him in Final Fantasy VII Part 3. And then he gets killed in Final Fantasy VII Part 3. And then in the next God of War game, he's dead because Kratos is like, he actually died in Final Fantasy VII Part 3, so he can't be in that one. So it affects it. And Kratos is like, I don't know how my son died. Wouldn't that be crazy? Those AI slut videos putting him in situations. Oh no. I don't know. These AI videos are getting pretty funny lately of like Leon Kennedy. Leon Kennedy with a gunblade would go hard. I know, right? I reckon if you put... Who would win in a fight? Squall Leonhardt or Leon Kennedy? Oh, God. Oh, shit. That would be fucking wild, right? Who would win that? I reckon Leon... Ooh, I'd have to put it down to Leon. Because Squall's just a kid, right? He's not going for the kill. You know? Leon's just like, bang. Dead. Do you have anything about Final Fantasy 17? Well, we're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about... We'll be talking about quite a bit of stuff today. I'm working on a bit of a sore tummy at the moment. One sec. Alright. Alright, we could probably get into it then anyway, right? Okay. Anyway, we'll get into some questions first before if you have any questions, start stacking them up now. But I'll be interested to hear about your weekend. I want to go back to Kate's question a little bit. Where are we at? Where's Kate's question? Where's Kate? Kate had a question before. Let's pull it up. They're totally not preempt question Kate put in before. Kate Fear says, Pez, what's your thoughts on Final Fantasy VII's new title, Revelations? Wow, that's a great question, Kate. Honestly, that's probably one of the best questions we've ever had. So if you're unaware, Final Fantasy VII Part 3 has a name, and it's Revelations, and they showed footage of it at Summer Games Fest. Now, if you want to know why they use the word revelation, okay, before you kind of jump into it, oh, why did they use it? Oh, they did it because of this. No, you got to understand what the word revelation means. So not everybody actually understands what revelation means, okay? Revelation, it's an act to reveal, what Google says to me. Revelation generally refers to an act of revealing or disclosing something that was previously hidden, unknown, or a secret. It can be a surprising piece of new information, a moment of profound realization, or a secret, undivided unrevealing of truth. Okay? So, do you know what that tells me? Did you Google it? I totally did. So, do you know, I know what the word means, but I never, kind of said it out loud in a proper sense. But what this tells me, in the act of revealing something that was previously hidden. So, there's clearly going to be something going on that we don't know, right? There's the unknown journey is obviously coming up. They've talked about it, the unknown journey. But notice that they didn't call it the unknown journey in the trailer. So if we think about the original game, what's the things that we don't know going into it right up to the end? Now, spoiler alert if you haven't played the original. The thing that we don't know about is that Aerith actually used the white materia, and at the end of the game, she, obviously she summoned Holy, but also the life stream came out of the planet to defend itself as well. So that's, I guess, is something that's a secret or unknown or something to be revealed. But then, if it's not that, what could it be? Because it could also rely on, one of the biggest, this game also has one of the biggest secrets of all time when you're playing through it. And I think it's one of the biggest reveals in a video game. I think it's a bigger moment than Aerith dying, is the reveal that Cloud wasn't actually Cloud during the Nibelheim scene. It was actually Zack the whole time. And you're kind of being gaslit the whole time by Cloud to believe it's actually him. So it could refer to that. Excuse me. It could refer to that. But Rebirth kind of gives you... Rebirth kind of gives you, kind of tells you that kind of happens. Basically, do you think the future Final Fantasy titles could comfortably come up with a current competition? I'll touch on that. So, yeah, I think, who knows? I reckon there could be a major reveal, but what are things that we haven't seen yet? We haven't seen Genesis. Genesis hasn't appeared yet. We haven't seen this, mysterious new character. We haven't seen the slap fight between Scarlet and Tifa. We haven't seen any stuff of that. I think that's the final fight right there. Is the fight between Scarlet and Tifa on the edge of the Mako Cannon. But yeah, if you've seen the trailer, it bloody looks good. But thank you for the question, Kate. Thank you for the question. Thank you, Kate. Aerith better die in this new fight. She died in the last one. I don't know if you know this, Dan. She died in the last one. So yeah, and. Realm Reborn was alright. Alright, sorry, I think I missed a few questions. Cape has the best questions. I know, it's almost like Cape got preloaded with questions. It's almost as if at 8:32 in the morning, I got you loaded for questions. And I sent Cape 4 questions. So when's Lulu's next appearance? Oh, I know, right? Oh, did you like my new view? Did you like my new what do you call it? My new fucking my video that we put out, the Lulu video, which Cape had a great question for, which was totally not preloaded for me. Which he didn't, because you definitely said he didn't get loaded for questions. I totally didn't. Like, here's the thing. I'm honest about it. So if anyone calls me out on it, I'll be like, yeah, I told everybody I gave Cape the questions. But if you have any other questions, load me up. I made 3 more videos. By the way, I changed this one. Changed the one read the second question you sent me. Oh yeah, no, I totally need. Yeah, sorry, you're right. I got to update then. Just hold that off a sec. We have a question in from David. David Buchanan. David Buchanan says, "Why is Kate Sif the cutest cat in all Final Fantasy games?" That is a good question. That is a good question. David, probably one of the best questions we've had yet. I would disagree. I don't think Kate Sif is a cute cat. I think, if anything, he's just downright annoying. Like, I'm not one to strike an animal, but I am one to strike a cat that is actually a toy, and I would happily punt Kate Sif off the edge of the Gold Saucer. Okay. I believe there are many, many more cuter cats out there. And, you know, I would even go out on a limb and say, here's the thing. Do you think Red 13 is part dog, part cat? Because he looks part dog, part cat. Like, he looks more dog, but he has some, like, cat features on him, too. When you see him, like, jump around all up over shit, like, that's how cats jump. Like, but you don't, when you see him, like, kind of, like, just hanging out and sleeping, he's like a dog. I don't know, what the fuck is Red 13? Anyway. Oh, look at this. We have a question in from Cape. Cape asks, do you have an update on the voicing? Do you have an update on you voicing the Sorry. Do you have an update on the... Fucking hell, why am I struggling to say this? Do you have an update on the... Do you have an update on you voicing the toilet guy in Rocket Town in Final Fantasy VII Revelations? That is a good question, Cape. And it's so interesting that you brought that up, because that's actually the best question we've ever had. I do have an update on my role on voicing the toilet guy in Rocket Town in Final Fantasy VII Revelations. So as you all know, I put out a video a little while ago, actually multiple videos, asking for everybody's help and support to @Square Enix and some Final Fantasy voice actors, asking them for advice and help in me voicing the character in Rocket Town. If you don't know who the character in Rocket Town is, in the original game in Rocket Town, there is a bar, and when you walk into the bar, there is a guy in a toilet, and when you knock on the door, he just goes, "I'm in here. I'm in here." Getting the shits. So those videos did really well, and thank you everybody for sharing those around. But I did talk to my contact at Square Enix, and I showed them the video, and they said, "Hey, this is really cool. Like, I reckon this is awesome. Let me send it up the chain and see what we can do." Okay, that's what happened. So they sent it up the chain, and I got told that the people that received it said, "Hey, this is really cool. This is a really cool idea. Let's see. Leave it with us, and we'll see." You know, and I can happily say that's the last I heard of it. So if anything, your voices did help, and I will be turning this into a short. But for those watching this, I do help. For those watching this, I do wish for you guys... sorry. But for those watching this right now, it would mean the world to me by adding Square Enix and adding Final Fantasy and adding Final Fantasy VII in the chat on whatever platform, in the comments on whatever platform this is on, and letting them know that you want to see me voicing the guy on the toilet in Final Fantasy VII Revelations. I believe there's still time. They're still working on the game. But look, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it would literally mean a dream come true if you guys could help me out and support me. Even the videos that are up right now on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube, if you just want to them on those right now, it would be a massive help, a massive support. You know, I don't expect anybody to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. I don't expect anybody to go out of their way. But if you do that, whew, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. We have a question in from Rafe. We have a question in from Rafe the Human. Rafe the Human says, "What Final Fantasy should I start with?" That's a really good question. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a question that good before. The best Final Fantasy you can start with is Final Fantasy X, okay? There's no other better Final Fantasy to start with. You can start on any other one of them, totally fine, but the best one to start with is Final Fantasy X. Why? Because it's in that middle point where, even though it's like 24 or whatever years old, it's still graphically a very good game. The voice acting is okay for its time. The combat is really basic. It's one of the easiest Final Fantasies to play, and it's such a good story. But if you go up or you go down, it doesn't matter because you're going to still get that Final Fantasy experience, and you can kind of see where you get sorry, and you can kind of see where you get things from. Sorry. Sorry, I'm bloody coughing. So you can kind of see where they got in. Fuck it up. I'm choking you. So you can kind of see where they got inspiration from. But if I had to give my honest opinion, what I would do is play Final Fantasy 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, that's my honest opinion. But 10 is the perfect entry level. Perfect entry level. And thank you for the question. Let me screenshot that real quick because I can't go back and get TikTok question. Alright. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Alright. Alright, let me... Alright, cool. Alright. Okay, here we go. Final Fantasy 2 is the best place to start. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut up, idiot. Alright. Alright. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close to starting. I didn't make a coffee because I thought it was going to like blow my asshole out. Still looking forward to the Final Fantasy game that follows the journey of Wedge and Biggs from game to game. Are you though? Actually, I'm going to turn this into a question. Into a video. David Buchanan says, still looking forward to the Final Fantasy game that follows the journey of Wedge and Biggs from game to game. That's an interesting question or an interesting statement. I only thing I have to say about that is, really? Are you sure there's not? Are you sure you don't want to watch paint dry? Are you sure you don't want to do your taxes? Are you sure you don't want to? I don't know. Go play that Golem game that came out that was really broken. You sure? Like, I don't know. You sure you want to like watch grass grow? Because I think that would be on the exact same level of excitement, in my opinion. So I take it you aren't a fan of the boy. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of them. They just don't do anything that's like exciting. And when Biggs and Wedge are on screen, it's like fucking waiting for them to shut up so that way we can go back to play the game. Like, everything that Wedge says, I don't like the idea of an eco-terrorist group that's going to blow up a reactor that's potentially going to kill hundreds, if not thousands of people. And you've got that dumbass, like, acting. It just, I don't know. I feel like everything with Wedge in the remake really took me out of it. Come on, those guys are hilarious. Watching them get fired from every single job. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. I mean, I reckon reality setting in where they have to sit there and go, maybe, are we fucking stupid? Like, that's what I would take from it. All right. Okay, do you want to get in and bloody watch this trailer? But anyway, welcome into Final Fantasy. Welcome into Pez's Sunday Confessions. We're going to go over 4 topics today. We're going to go over the Final Fantasy VII Revelations trailer breakdown. So we'll go over every scene, every frame, and talk about everything we can see. We're going to go over Revelation theories. So this is just going to be an open discussion between us all. You know, nothing's off the table. If you want to say something and I make fun of you, you just got to be prepared for that. We will talk about Square Enix's next major project and what we want that to be. And we're going to close off. Can the golden age of RPGs return? Okay, because we all know we are 20. I would say we are 24 years past the golden age of RPGs. But it feels like, I don't know. It feels like the sun is shining on the world again, and we might be able to relive it. What do you reckon? Do you have a PowerPoint on the trailer? I don't. Oh, I should have. I should have done it. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Okay. So for those also too, just a bit of housekeeping. Can we get a thank you to JD Shivers coming in with 6 months. 6 months. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, mate. I bloody appreciate it. And everybody else who wants to sub tonight. Wow, isn't that crazy? It's crazy that you all want to sub tonight. All right, so we're going to go over this trailer bit by bit. And Cape, those other 2 questions you sent over, just hold off for a little bit. I just want to smash this out. If we don't get them tonight, we can get them later. Yeah. Anyway. All right. I think someone actually asked a question. What's the best order to play the compilation file? Okay. I'm sorry, not that I knew what that question was. All right. Okay. Ready? So we're gonna go through. We're gonna watch the trailer, then we're gonna go back scene by scene. Okay. I'm gonna turn subtitles. Are they on or off? Okay. Let's go. Oh wait, you're gonna turn the audio on. Sorry, if you're watching on there you go. If you're watching on TikTok, you can see it now. All right.
Long ago, a shadow fell upon our planet. Guided by calamity, one man sought dominion through reunion. By his will, a star fell. A meteor called forth to bring ruin to all. But our planet answered, awakening mighty weapons to stand against the celestial threat. Now, hope endures in those who fight.
Long story short, the world's in trouble. It has been for a while.
So what are we waiting for? Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime. You're mine. I'll make this quick. Good night.
The sky's the limit!
I can do this. I'll make you proud.
Just ain't your day.
Oh my, is that a weapon I see?
Far as I can tell, these things don't distinguish between friend and foe.
Save the planet by killing her protectors. Let us put your faith to the test, Cloud.
Never would have made it this far without you guys. And I won't let you down. I promise.
At last, the promise is fulfilled. The journey ends here.
Alrighty. So what did you think? So before we get into it, what did you all think of that one? Did you like really enjoy it? Did you like it? Should have been Final Fantasy Reunion. So they were saying that they never actually considered Reunion for it. They had 2 other names that were going to use, but they're keeping those close to their chest because I think maybe they might have spoiled something. Okay, but overall, it's a good trailer. It's a good trailer. All in general. So what we're gonna do here is we're literally gonna go frame by frame. We'll go second by second. So let me also, my quality seems to be a bit arse. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, so we're starting off here is, now we remember in the original Final Fantasy VII remake, the original Final Fantasy VII remake, what we're seeing here, we're kind of like seeing this look out into the universe or whatever, but we're also seeing what looks like this conversion that, I guess, what they call it, the edge of reality. Is that what they called it? The edge of creation, which is where we seen where Cloud and Sephiroth were fighting. Excuse me. So that's kind of, I don't really have much to kind of put on that, but it's a fucking, I think it's visually is beautiful.
Long ago.
Okay, but I want to listen to this text. Okay, this voice.
Long ago, a shadow fell upon our planet.
long ago, a shadow fell upon our planet. Okay. Now, they're saying it is in the terms of... Now, we've got to remember going into this that Final Fantasy Remake series is not a remake. It's actually, you know... It's a continuation of the 1997 release. So he's saying long time ago, all right? So this implies that it's like at the end of Final Fantasy VII Revelations. Like it's already been done, okay? So it's like they're talking about what happened on the original Final Fantasy. And we're now seeing what happened a long time ago, but also it could be the narrator actually just telling us what happened in 1997. Okay. Yeah. That's another thing. It could be a long time ago. It happened in 1997. This happened in this game.
Guided by Calamity, one
Okay, so let's go back a little bit. So as we go through here, you can see everybody. We can see everybody that are injected with Genova cells, all climbing up to what obviously Sephiroth. Now this image here is for many reasons quite beautiful, but it has so many different, like, I guess you could look at in the religious terms, you could look at in, like, I guess philosophy, you could look at it in, like, you know, what is it kind of like, is there like a deeper meaning to it? But if we were to kind of pull all that back and just say what's actually happening here, you got to remember when Sephiroth went into the live stream, he pretty much gained the knowledge of the planet and used his will to pull himself back together. Okay, he didn't use the abilities of Genova to do that to himself. He did it to himself. His will was strong enough that Genova didn't have any influence over him. And Genova cells, when, like, if you have cells that are conscious and able to be manipulated from afar, the cells are going to always want to return to their point of origin. So, and Genova's ability is to essentially manipulate cells, cell manipulation. She can do anything with her cells. If she infects anybody with her cells, she can literally rewrite that person to be or do whatever she wants them to be. That is the power of Genova. But Sephiroth being injected with them was literally born with them and was able to manipulate and control them himself. And over his life, he was able to control and manipulate those Genova cells. Now, what we're seeing here is all these cells are being drawn back to the point of origin, back to Sephiroth. And Sephiroth is using Genova's abilities and has a stronger will than Genova to manipulate those cells and bring them back to himself. And what we're seeing here is all those cells. Just imagine that these aren't humans. Imagine these are just a mass of cells trying to return back to their point of origin.
reunion by his will.
A reunion. The reunion of all these cells returning. Now, let's pull it back a little bit.
By his
Now, what do we... And this is a really good image right here. Look, I think a lot of people miss this. Look who he's holding. He's holding Cloud. Because a lot, like, you're drawn right to, like, the thing is, like, when you look at this, what are you drawn to? You're drawn to looking at Sephiroth's face, the glowing light behind it, the wing, like, just his drip. You know, like, I will admit, even the first time I watched it, I didn't even notice Cloud. Okay? But it is definitely Cloud. You can see a little bit of the tougher blonde hair right there. But,
his will, a star fell.
Such a beautiful color, isn't it? It's like obviously the Mako color, but notice, like, Sephiroth's known to have, like, really, like, nearly aqua tealish bright colored eyes, but in this one they're, like, a lot more green, like, nearly evil green, you know? Very evilish greenish, you could say, in a sense.
A meteor.
Now that's a meteor, okay? I don't know if you know that, but that's a that's a meteor.
Called
I was kind of, your eyes are kind of fixated to this bright point here, because if you go back a little bit, I think it's just visual effects.
Called forth to bring ruin to...
Okay, if you look at the original Final Fantasy VII, the the way they've kind of got these like beams of fire and like kind of waves of light kind of wrapping around it, it looks pretty much on par with how it looked back in 1997 with that one. They did a really good job of it. I think visually it's quite stunning. Actually, let's go back a little bit.
Bring ruin to all.
So yeah, we can see, obviously, we've got the Shinra Tower here, obviously the Shinra headquarters there. Nothing else going there. You can see the height of the surroundings of the mountains, but nothing really else stands out.
But our planet answers.
All right, okay, we're going to have points in the chat. Does anybody know which weapon this is? All right, does anybody know what weapon this one is? I know what weapon it is. Robohand. Let's get him out there. Which weapons do we think it is? We got Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, Ultima, Sapphire. What do we think it is? Everybody keeping a weapon of mass destruction. Vembry actually got it right. This is actually the diamond weapon. So if you watch the original, diamond weapon is the one that puts its hands up and claws its way up out of there. But which kind of looks cool because before it looked a lot more like feral. I guess like obviously the graphics, the advancing graphics between 1997 and 2006 is very different, but this looks very metallic, like where the original one kind of looked like fucking hard rock and like I don't know, it just looked like muscle and rock. The diamond weapon, in my opinion, but I guess it actually looks like diamond.
Awakening mighty weapon.
So this one here is the sapphire weapon. So it's hard to tell right here, but you can see this is the horn, and you'll see where it's like face pulls down. Let me see if I can. These are some of the interviews I wanted to watch. FF7, sapphire weapon scene. Okay. Oh, goddamn ads. Oh, I didn't. Wait, it's not actually the one. Oh, here we go. See, there it is there. You can see the horn. See the horn on the head. Yeah, the horn on the head. And it's got that, like, face guard right there. So, yeah. So we know that's the sapphire. We know that's the sapphire weapon.
Weapons to stand against the celestial.
So that looks cool as shit. Like, this. So if we don't know who this is the... sorry, this is the Ultima weapon. But what I like about this one is what I really look how it's kind of like coming through coming through the storm. It looks just like it looks just fucking so badass. But before in the original one, it had like the thanks buddy, I appreciate it. It had like the smoother, it looked like it was out of the Power Rangers. I fucking love how they're looking in this one. They look so clean, don't you reckon?
Threat. Now.
All right. Okay. So we're heading towards what is the North Crater here. So a few things to point out here, and it's easy to miss them. I guess like how quick these little snippets are. So obviously out the middle here we got this kind of this vortex, what you call it. But you see here we kind of got this narrow road. Okay, that kind of wraps up around here. And I wonder if they're going to have it. But you remember in the original Final Fantasy VII, where when you try to run along those narrow paths, they have those beams of wind and lightning and a light stream that kind of tearing through. And if you hit it, you get knocked back. Well, it looks like you could probably do that in some of these parts here, maybe a bit further up. But we can also see some of the people that are injected with Genova cells walking towards the reunion. So that's a kind of little nice little tweak there. What else we got? The kind of I love the going off the lore, right? Going off the lore from going off the lore that they added about Shiva and Genova. So back in the North Crater, when Genova was wreaking havoc against the Cetra actually called upon aid from Shiva, and Shiva was the one that actually encased her in ice deep, deep, deep within the North Crater. So you see these kind of effects here. I don't know, like there's a lot of like wind and elements kind of blowing around, and it's clear that you can kind of see that the way they're kind of ripping around, the landscape's kind of like shifted around it. So I assume this would have been more like heavy on ice, but you can see the everything's kind of like overgrown from that original fight between Genova and Shiva, and I guess like the winds have kind of like shaped everything into this like jagged landscape.
Hope
Okay, so in this next scene,
endures in those.
So everybody in this scene here says like oh, hey, Reelsy, literally, oh, you're about to say it. In this scene right here, we're obviously missing somebody. Okay, we're missing Aerith. Aerith got turned into a shish kebab and died. But we're also missing Vincent. Now, we know in the original game, Vincent was obviously playable at this point. But I think it might have been a way, right, for Vincent... Because I guess if you have Vincent and Sid playable right away, it's probably not the best. Because you probably want to, like, play with Sid a little bit, and then you want to play with Vincent a little bit later. So I think we're not going to get. I don't think we're going to get Vincent until after. This is my opinion. I don't think we're going to get Vincent playable until after the events of Junon. After we leave the North Crater and we go back to Junon and we get put in prison. And maybe Vincent is a big part of like helping people escape. Who knows? Who knows? So Vincent might. Who knows? He might go off and investigate and do some stuff. So, but all we know is from pretty much where the shit happens at the end of Rebirth to here, Vincent departs and he'll obviously come back. Yeah, so good, like, really good look. Everybody's looking tight, you know, fucking Sid. I just can't get over Sid. Sid looks fucking awesome. I can't wait to play as Sid. I like Vincent's cool and all, but I fucking love Sid. Sid's just the best. Barrett's not wearing... No one's wearing a jumper of any kind, which is kind of interesting. Pez, who do you think will be the new playable character? I'll tell you. We'll talk about that in a sec. We'll do the questions after we do the trailer breakdown. But if like Yuffie is making me cold. Like she is... The fact that she's not wearing a jumper or anything like that is she's making me feel cold.
Those who...
But here we go.
Those who fight.
Those Who Fight, which we know is the song for the battle music, which is called Those Who Fight.
Long story short.
Boom! All right, what have we got here? Boom! What's that? Look at these like, little bloody lovely red hair and stunning legs. Lady Luck, believe it or not.
Worlds.
But look at this. Okay. I remember. I'm going to tell a story. I remember when I was a kid. Oh, you got an ad? Oh, everybody told David to subscribe to get rid of the ads. I remember, right, as a kid, when you finally get the high wind and you're flying around and then you see the meteor in the sky and you're like, oh my God, that was heavy. The fact that it was this fucking meteor in the sky. I loved it. I loved that. It was like so jarring. And I remember at the same time, roughly the same year when this game came out, the movie Armageddon came out as well. So it was like, I was all about meteors back then. Anyway, so if we have a look around, I guess kind of seeing what's going on here, you can see just behind my head over on the right, you can see the jagged mountains of Nibelheim. Okay. Now we got, it's going over the left. I'm assuming over here would be Wutai. Okay, so everything on the western continent, to the left of it was Wutai. So I believe this here is going to be the Wutai continent.
Trouble.
So we got, yeah, and then you can see the peak right here of Cosmo Canyon. Okay, so there's nothing else that could be left of that other than Wutai. So what we're looking at here is Wutai. Okay.
Has been for a while.
So what do
Oh, let me go back a bit. All right. Nothing really put out here. Some cool designs. I like how it's got like this, like the whole of it still has this like kind of submarine-esque. Oh, is that where the cockpit? Is that where the like the bridge is right there? Because I always thought, oh no, they go in and they walk down, don't they? Yeah, no, that would make sense. Yeah, because they, okay, yeah, no, so it would be down here. For some reason, I thought it was higher. Maximilian Dude got an interview with the director. Yeah, we're gonna watch that a little bit later.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my, that is something and a half. How? Whoa! Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna watch. I haven't watched that interview, so we're gonna watch it after this. So no, don't ruin any of those for me. Okay, so in this scene here, we got Sid, Barrett, Yuffie. We pretty much got everybody but Cloud. So this is going to be, and see, Sid looks like he's kind of like taking charge here, but Tifa's still in the party. So at this point in the game, this is where Tifa's going to be in charge, because there's that scene where after you get the high wind, you have an idea of where's Kate Sif. Kate Sif is right here. You can see Kate Sif just to the right of Tifa. So in this section, this is where we've just left. We've just left whatchamacallit, off to bed. No worries, Renee, have a good one. We've just left Junon. Now we're trying to figure out where to go, and you kind of like fly around the world, and people, like in the original game, you fly around the world and you talk to people, and they go, oh, you know, they start talking about this like town called Medeal. Oh, the live stream comes up in this area called Medeal, you know. Oh, you should go to that area, Medeal. And like, oh, okay, it's an accessible area now. So this is where I'm assuming they're about to parachute out to go down to Medeal. So I'm assuming they can't land. Maybe you can't land the high wind. A lot of it is going to be about, I'm assuming, parachuting out. So with Tifa still in the party, that means that this is before they find Cloud.
Wow.
So what do we
Yeah. Still, just visually looks stunning.
waiting for? Let's get.
I've got to say this. Her eyes are incredible. Like, I think they've done an incredible job with like eyes in this game. Everybody's eyes are fucking awesome.
If Sephiroth the
Look how awesome. Oh, and look, it's like, am I just noticing this? Does Vincent have, what the fuck? Does Vincent have one like demonic eye and one normal eye? Has he always had that? Or is it just,
beating of a
I've never noticed that before. Has Vincent always had, let me Google that. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are pointing out his eyes. Even in the original, it's that eye is, it's that right eye is, yeah, no matter what we look at. So there we go. That's the first time I've actually noticed that. Vincent has this, yeah, maybe that's where the, what's it called? The proto materia is in his eye. Who knows? Who knows? I wonder, yeah, I wonder if this is where the proto materia is kept.
off the beating of a lifetime.
Okay, let's go back a bit. All right. Okay, meteor in the sky, which looks cool. Everybody's ready to jump. Red 13. Red 13's got a back. Oh, yeah, they make Red 13 wear a backpack like a human. I suppose he talks and walks like a human too sometimes. All right.
Lifetime.
I like how Yuffie does. Now, Cloud, now they make it look like Cloud's part of this. But obviously, this must be when Cloud gets back after, obviously, the Medeal section. Let's go back a bit. Yuffie does the whole Attack on Titan, like, stupid, too many twists. Okay, it's too much happiness inside of Red 13's face right now. Look, he's like, ah! Yeah, that eye, there's something going on with that eye. Alright, so let's have a look around here. Now, I know this section really well. This is where the Chocobo farm is. So this is where, yeah. So this is we're going back into. You can return to the grassland. Like, thankfully, you can return to the grasslands. So yeah. So you can see, yeah. There's those old little ruins right there. So this is we're diving back into the Chocobo. That's where the Chocobo farm is. All right, we're in the Junon area, I want to say. Or do you reckon this is the Junon area, or is this a new area? This feels like Junon, but it also doesn't. I can't remember that tree, unless I'm wrong. The plants look really pretty. You can see these little little pockets of life stream here, kind of like bleeding out from the surface. You know, you're probably right. This will have to be Medeal, because Medeal has been known to be really close to like a pocket of life stream. So that would make sense why we got these little wisps of live stream coming up here. Okay. Oh no, I wanted to go back just a tad. There we go. So we can see the Da Chao statues up the top there. We even got the hands in a certain way up the top left here. I know it's hard to see it if you're watching on TikTok. If you want to watch the full experience, come over to Twitch or YouTube. Yeah, so it seems like there's like a festival going on. We can see I think this is the tower where Yuffie's father is. What's it? It's like the Invincible Tower or some shit. I can't remember what it is. Like, see the flying turtle. Maybe like the Happy Turtle. That'll be the turtle restaurant. You know, the flying turtle or whatever it is. Do you think Wutai will be where the musical dance will be? Probably. There'll probably be a dance in every section. Cobblestones look cool. Do you know what I like? It doesn't look like they're copy. Actually, if we look here. Okay, if you're watching, you can't. You can't actually. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, if you're watching on Twitch and TikTok. Twitch and YouTube. Okay, see where Yuffie's feet are? Look to the left. You got this cobblestone here. And there's like a divot out of it. There's like a divot out of it here. Then we go to this cobblestone over here. There's a divot out of it in the same spot. And there's a little divot up the top here. Same as there. So we got they're using the same. I was going to say everything's going to be handcrafted. But no, they've obviously reused assets. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Now I know that they're just reusing assets. But the plants are probably going to be reused assets, but just turned. Well, and actually, one thing I just did notice. I just noticed a big turtle there. I wonder if a lot of these areas are accessible if you can jump around them with Yuffie. Okay, so we got the Hammer of Thor right here for some reason. That looks like the Hammer of Thor. I don't know why we got the Hammer of Thor. What is that enemy? Oh, it's a bird. Oh, these are like those lightning birds in that area. My first ever attempt at a speed run on Final Fantasy VII for 100% speed run, I died for being careless against the lightning birds when you're walking towards Wutai. So it doesn't actually look like we're in Wutai yet. Well, it looks like we're about to like walk to the entrance of Wutai. Okay, no, interesting thing to hear, right? Let's pay attention if they're actually using magic. Because it looks like Vincent's just using his abilities.
You're mine.
Oh, then again, it does look like he's throwing fire. Because we know when we first go to Wutai, Yuffie steals all of our materia. Okay, anyway, let's go back to... Whew, look at that armor. Holy shit. Look at that six-pack. There, he lifts. I just hope they don't have, like, too many sparks flying everywhere. So in this game, all characters are recruitable, no optional. No, there's going to be new... No, everybody's recruitable, but there's going to be a new character. So they're introducing a new playable character into the party. So who it will be, we don't know. So yeah, that's definitely magic. So this will be after the whole Yuffie thing.
I'll make this quick. Good night.
Oh, that looks cool. So I wonder what this ability is here. This is if this is him using magic, or is this part of him, like, because we all know, like, for those that play Dirge of Cerberus, Vincent has something inside of him called the Proto Materia. All right, this ability, it's the thing that allows him to turn into chaos.
Nice.
That looked like, that kind of looked like a really heavy, like, it's like a purple flare in a way. Yeah, it's probably, yeah, it might be like some sort of ability.
The sky's the
Here we go. Here's our boy. Now he's using his, like, what's he's called? It's like diving dragon. He's got he's got an ability called dragon and then diving dragon or dragon dive. He's really fucking that bird up.
I could do.
Okay, before we dive in and talk about whatever the hell's going on here, let's go back a little bit. All right, Sid's play style. Just watch the way he, like, and I know it's hard to track it, but just watch the way he's using his spear.
The sky's the limit.
I could.
Like, he jumps around like he's flicking water. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's like it's like you can hear the water effects as well.
I could do.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about this in a bit, but they've definitely added job classes in this game, and I don't know how I feel about it. But we're going to talk. I want to watch this interview and, like, see what they have to say about it. But I like the drip. You know, it's definitely like, you know, really brings out how beautiful her eyes are. You know.
I'll make you proud.
Bam. Okay. I don't know about. It looks like he's wearing a wetsuit, but it's also like armored wetsuit. I know, you just don't mess with the original, you know. You just don't mess with the original. Oh, God, that speed. Watch how quick he goes. The camera didn't even catch him. Okay, we got an Orochu. So I was trying to get like a clearer image of the Orochu.
Day your day.
Alright, these look cool. I love it, like, I loved how cool the rockets were. Like, these rocket launchers were when the Sapphire weapon attacked them in the original Final Fantasy. Okay, look at this. Damn, look at that. Look at the artillery on this fucking thing. Look at the attention to detail. Just on, like, where the rockets are, like, kind of like they nearly look like rust. Like, these are weapons that haven't been, they were produced but just weren't ever used, and they've kind of just been sitting in storage because there's never been, like, I think this is a really cool, like, story to tell just by looking at the details on these things, because Shinra doesn't need to fight anybody, you know? They've never had to, like, after they kind of, like, squashed every rebellion, they've never needed to go send out, like, the military. So it's been, like, when did the war in Wutai end? It was, like, 7 years or something like that. So these weapons are kind of been sitting in storage. And, like, you look at how much, when you look at Midgar, right? There's so much, even though we all know, like, the people of Midgar don't know this, but we know that they plan on abandoning Midgar and going to find the Promised Land and putting Neo Midgar there. But there's so much, like, shit that's been under construction and just, like, all the stuff that's been kind of left and just sat aside and not worried about. But looking at, like, some of the wear and tear on these machines, like all these little joints in between here, you can tell that they've been sitting there for a while, and I think that's really telling. I think it's a good storytelling.
Is that all?
All right, so now before we go kind of going, oh, what weapon's this? So these are those two, remember in the original, in Rebirth, there were those two weapons that were underneath the water and Tifa got in the belly of one of them? So what we're looking at is here. So these weapons have clearly gotten orders from the planet to, like, all right, fucking execute everybody. Like, it's time to kill everybody.
Weapon, I see.
But look at its face. Fucking, look at its eyes, man. Look at that. See, that is how I envision. I think they did an incredible job on making the skin look like, if the planet was to create a defender, it would look like that, you know? It'd have this, like, kind of, like, muscle bony structure.
Far as I
Look at that. Look how tiny Tifa looks. And then she's going up against that. Like, that's another thing. Is this thing going to try to run under there? But look, actually, you know, I'm just looking at this. Look at this. This shit here looks destructible as all hell. Like right here, you can tell where it was like attached. So this thing's gonna like knock this thing down. Mark my words.
I can tell. These things don't distinguish between...
Oh, wait, was I right? I could be wrong.
These things don't distinguish
Oh no, it's still there, it's still there.
between friend and foe.
Save the planet.
Look at that. Look how like there's so look. You can just see that pulse wave about to come out of its mouth, right?
Save the
And it's like light has been like drawn everywhere, and it's just that fucking vocal point. That's such a good spot. What weapons is this? The new one? No, these are the weapons from Rebirth. So the two like whale weapons that were like floating around in the water.
planet back.
So what are we looking at here? Is that Medeal?
Killing her
Ooh. Or is it Junon? Might be Junon, because they were near Junon, weren't they? These ones were near Junon.
protectors.
Oh. No, this one's not Emerald. There's nothing like Emerald. There's our boy. Look at him. There's a ruby weapon. So we're clearly near the gold saucer. But look, on the left here, we can see we've got like military outposts set up, ready to fight them. Ooh. Look at that. That's just like... I love it how everything's not perfectly symmetrical. Like, there's like different parts of his head that are a little bit like... It's like the planet tried to make him perfect, but everything's... It's just kind of slightly off. Alright, there's the Ultima weapon. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Look at that, like... So... That there is just like... I would say this here is this core is the Ultima weapon, right? Because you look at those other weapons had like that giant, huge materia in their guts, and this here is essentially like the life stream. Like the planet uses the life stream to make these weapons, and these weapons are created as defenders. And I would say that it starts with crystallization. And then over time, they kind of like, the planet kind of like built around it to create these weapons. It fucking looks so good. Like, look at the attention to detail. Like these, it's like these like cool rib cages right here. This fucking like looks like hard as rock chest. That fucking, God, he looks good. And like just the sheer, like the way the wind ripples around the roar.
Let us put you.
Damn, look how good their faces look. Like their eye, no game does eyes better than Remake, the Remake series. They look fucking so good.
Put your.
How good does Sid look? It's shame he's not smoking though. Like put a pack of cigarettes there, telling everyone to fuck off. Oh, I just noticed like they got the old pirate ship looking wheel. Oh, it's Vincent driving, is he?
Faith to the.
I'm still ashamed of what Red 13 became in this game. I really think I think they pulled way too hard in one direction.
Test.
Just look at those eyes, man. Their eyes are so good.
Cloud.
Attention to the details in those eyes. It's just so fucking good. Well, what's he got there? That's not a black materia. That's a white materia. Oh my god. Sephiroth's got a white materia. Sephiroth has the white materia. That's crazy. I'm just noticing that because we never see the white materia again except for in that vision. But man. There we go. Sephiroth is holding the white materia. What could that mean? Did Sephiroth put on some scuba gear and did Sephiroth put on some scuba gear and go down and get it? That's crazy. That could be part of the revelations part, this unknown part. Maybe there's something like we know what's going to happen, but it's not working. Why is it not working? Sephiroth's got his hand on the white materia. Or it could also be another sense. It also could be that this could be a sense of when we go down to fight him in the North Crater, because he's the one holding back Holy. Maybe this is a vision of him look, I've got the white materia, I've got Holy, I'm holding it back. So that's probably, actually, now that I think about it, that's probably what we're looking at right now. It's a lot more deeper blue here, so it's a lot more truer to the original Final Fantasy VII logo, like a lighter blue down there, where the original one was like dark. The remake was dark green, then we had the red and green, and this one is like the blue. It's like holy, you could nearly say, like the life, the holy materia, and then we got the stream of that. So, Revelations.
Never would have made it this far without you guys.
I feel like this here, now it probably makes sense in the game, but I feel like, right, now this is to get sentimental with it. I feel like this is a message from, Nomura. I reckon this is a Katars. I feel like this is a message from the team to us.
Without you guys.
Wait.
Made it this far without you guys. Never would have made it this far without you guys. And I won't let you down.
Now, that makes sense. Cloud saying that to everybody in game, but it feels like them putting it in the trailer. Feels like it's them also saying it to us, because there was a lot of negativity around Rebirth. I liked Rebirth, but there was a lot of negativity around it. I feel like I kind of got like a feeling that's them saying it to us, like, "Hey, we're not going to let you down. This is gonna be a fucking banger of a game."
I promise. And I won't let you down.
Now we can see the white whispers in the background. Now it looks like we got like old buildings and shit here. Now if you've played, now we're clearly, now if you don't, I can tell you, does anybody know where we are right now in the game? Because I'll tell you right now, all right? This is full spoiler. We are in the North Crater. We are just about to make that dive in, okay? And you're wondering why I think that is because you see these buildings over on the left here. By going one of the routes, you actually like see those like kind of weird structures underneath. Like depending on which route you go, you see like different formations and some structures like on the way down, and that's what we're seeing there. And you can see like then they got these like weird, crazy like coral trees and shit everywhere. That's what we're seeing as well. But then we can also see the black whispers and the white whispers in the background.
I promise.
And he promises.
At last, the promise is fulfilled. The journey ends here.
Now they say the journey ends here. They're no longer saying the unknown journey ends here, all right? So it's like, I feel like they've really pulled back. Pez, we can't raid you on YouTube. Oh, that sucks. It's all good, but welcome in. Oh, how many people? Oh, okay. It's all good. Wait, did you raid me on Twitch? Oh, but thank you for coming. How was your stream? How's your stream? Wait, are you not allowed to raid me on YouTube? Is that just a me thing? I'm sorry. Did I not have it set up? Anyway, how you going? We're doing some trailer analysis. Anyway, she shouted out. Yeah, no, I was in her stream when she did. All right. Okay. That's everything we got there. Okay. So now let's go look at the original Final Fantasy VII trailer. Okay. Now, let's see the difference. Now, if you didn't know, on PC, Eidos actually handled the PC port. Yay! There's Aerith. She hasn't been stabbed yet. Not alive and well. Nearly got hit by a car. Got them white flowers. Now, another good thing is you can see that they use the same color from they use the same color as it's okay. I'll send screenshots on how. Okay, all good. Thank you. You see they got the same color on the bottom part as they do in that. So this is the original trailer they used for launch. An epic journey across 3 CD-ROMs. Over 60 minutes of cinematic sequences. Say what? Look how high level they are. Over 50 hours of seamless gameplay. Show the scenes when nobody's in there. Engrossing storyline. Oh no! State-of-the-art 3D graphics and animation. 9 playable characters, 1 might die. I think it's 9, then /8. Ooh. That track was great. Fully rendered, high-quality, computer-generated backgrounds. So pixelated you can't even see the fucking tiny Bronco. Mini-games and sub-quests. Sub-quest. What's quest? There's 1 sub-quest. They lied. Oh, false advertisement, we can sue. Oh, they just showed the end of the game. Final Fantasy VII, now on the PC. Now on the PC. Now on the PC. Alright, okay. I want to watch this. Actually, oh no, I want to go back. Okay, we're going to watch the gameplay. Here we go. We're going to watch the director on fixing Rebirth. Okay, we're going to watch this interview, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about it.
I'm here at Summer Game Fest with Final Fantasy Revelation director Naoki Hamaguchi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate the time, and I am so incredibly excited for part 3 of my favorite adventure. Tifa Lockhart is probably one of my favorite video game characters, if not characters of all time. And in this portion of Final Fantasy VII, she kind of becomes the main character and serves as the glue that keeps the team together.
So I just want to go back. I want to kind of go pull that back a little bit.
And serves as the glue that.
How cool is that? This man, they jump from high up, don't they? Look how high. Look how far away the high wind is.
Keeps the team together.
Yeah, right. So yeah, this is definitely off the coastline of Medeal. Actually, can we get better quality on this one?
Is that something that we can expect in Revelation?
All right, what do we got out here? So we've got, what it looks like is we've got a... Fuck is this? Is this some sort of new outpost that they've put up near Medeal? Because there's Shinra flags around. Yeah.
And you know, how so, if that's the case?
そうですね。もちろんティファの存在っていうのは。
So I do believe that, you know, something that's been present throughout the entire series is, you know, Cloud being the central protagonist, and of course, you know, he is still the main character for Revelation as well.
Damn, look how fucking good. Like, that all looks like fucking... That was, it's just that they did a really good job with Wutai.
But I do believe that players can expect.
Oh, we get a good look at the Highwind here. Here we go. So we got like over here is down the bottom left. So we got on the right we've got Nibelheim, Cosmic Canyon. Actually no, I was wrong. That wouldn't be Wutai. So that would be all Medeal in that, because it would. Yeah, no, I'm totally wrong.
Within Revelation, the third title, that Tifa and other characters will also be highlighted, and they'll all be sort of going towards this conclusion together, and so that's when.
First time catching stream, found you on Facebook, but damn man, the best Final Fantasy content creator out there. Fucking keep up the good work, brother. Hell yeah. Let's hear it for C-Wop. Thank you, mate. I bloody appreciate it. Thank you. We're just doing an analysis on these videos. Thank you so much. Chat, look at those kind words. Wow, wouldn't it be crazy if someone gifted like, what do we have, 27 subs? That'd be wild, eh? All right.
Detail that is not to be missed.
My next question is about the name. I know for a while it was mentioned that there were 2 to 3 other names that were maybe in the running to be the third part's final name. What were the other potential names, and why do you think Nomura-san decided to go with Revelation?
そうですね。多分まあこれから各
So, we figured that once we let on that we had 2 or 3 other options, we knew that everyone wanted to ask what those were.
So you're gonna kiss him? I wonder if they're gonna kiss.
But since
So this has to be the moment. All right.
everyone wanted to ask what those were.
All right. This has to be the moment where Cloud gives over. Oh, no, because he's in the crystal. This would be leading up to the moment where he hands over the black materia. Plus, I work in construction, so the cone hat is the cherry on the top. Fucking oath. I used to be I still am an electrician. I was an electrician for like 11 years, so I kind of like respect the construction side. But welcome in, I bloody appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
But since we had just recently announced the Revelation title,
Damn, like that. There's no need for that many turbines. Can I just? I'm not trying to be negative, but that's a lot of fucking. There's a lot of blades on that.
do you want to kind of keep focus on that? And for now,
redhead.
Do you want to kind of keep focus on that? And
Okay, we get that's the clearest I think we've ever seen. Lady Luck. I've never noticed like the bolting around it. Yeah, right.
For now,
I want that as the way it is. I want that tattooed on my biceps. This is the fucking Highwind.
maybe keep the 2 or 3 others kind of close to us. But in terms of the subtitle,
Okay, we're starting to see a lot of reuse.
For remake and rebirth as well, that was something that our creative director Nomura-san also chose. And so for Revelation, the third title, we definitely wanted him to choose it as well. In terms of Revelation, meaning we are going to be sort of revealing and everything up to this point that the players themselves may have many questions about. It's very much aligned with my vision as well for the story, and so I think it's very fitting.
My next question is, we finally have Sid and Vincent as party members who we can control. We've seen some of their combat. They both look fantastic. What were some of the keywords when designing their combat that you wanted them to kind of evoke?
そうですね。
Now, keywords. So it's interesting. She said, I reckon that's actually a really good question to ask. So a lot of times when people create video games or create stories or create characters or create events, what they do is they try to use a bunch of keywords. All right. They go, okay, this character could be aggressive, violent, caring, unmovable, like sort of shit like that. And then they go, okay, how do we build that? How do we piece that together? So I think that's a really good question. Like, what would those words be for these guys?
So, of course, Vincent, in the original game, he's able to transform in more specific scenes or circumstances. But we wanted to make sure to allow the players a more, degree of freedom in which they're able to transform him at different times at their own will. So he's able to transform into this beast mode, like whenever the player wants, as well as use these far range attacks. So players are able to to, choose that depending on how they want to play with this character. And so in that way, one may feel that his combat style is a little similar to like Yuffie, but also very unique and different on his own. In terms of Sid, it's a little similar to Red 13 or Nanaki in that Nanaki is a little more of a specialist in like the ground level attacks, but then Sid is sort of a complement to that, is more like aerial.
I would say Vincent would be very positive for aerial because he has a fucking gun. He can just shoot anything in the air.
In the air-based attacks that he's going to really excel at.
God,
And,
look at, oh my God.
Add these new characters.
Did you see that?
Attacks that he's
Look
going
at the way he
to
throws
really
the spear, ready?
excel at.
And it
as
comes back to
we,
him.
Add these new characters, and there's a lot more playable characters now. It becomes, sort of a challenge for us to determine.
Feels like he's playing like Yuffie, but with a spear.
Which attacks are like, what types of combat each character is going to be specialized in. But I think we did a really great job of making each feel very unique and fun to play.
From Steven Spielberg.
Do you know? I think when you think about it, ignoring Kate Sif, but everybody in the game, right? Kind of. Maybe Aerith has a staff, so it kind of makes sense for her. But everybody kind of has makes sense on what the weapon they use and why they use it. But Sid, it's never really explained to how Sid got so good with a spear. Like, where did he learn? Where did he train? And like, are dragoons is the art style, the martial art style of a dragoon? Is that something that exists in Final Fantasy VII, like in the world of Final Fantasy VII? Like, is a dragoon fighting style like something that's practiced,
On the subject of combat, we now have almost kind of a job system in the game.
Yeah. What the fuck am I looking at? Why is it... For what? Okay, the Barrett thing, I'm not pointing out Barrett.
It's kind of a...
Where is this server room? Like, where... is it? Where are they?
Job system in the game. And it's funny because...
what the hell? This nearly looks like it's a simulation, like they're in something. Like, where is that? That doesn't feel like the Highwind, though.
I love...
Like, do you reckon that's the Highwind? They got these hazard things for steps. So, mate, I don't know. I don't know. But like, it just feels weird them dressed this way in Midgar on the Midgar raid.
Of a job system.
Because the Midgar raid is not like a stroll in the park. It's a dark part of the game. Like, a lot of bad things happen in Midgar when they return.
That's why Final Fantasy V...
But there's like a couch. It looks like pretty casual. You might be right. We might be looking at the Highwind.
And Final Fantasy Tactics are some of my favorites.
What is this area they're in? What is this background? What's going on there? What's Kate Sif doing over there?
And so I want...
Okay, here we go. All right, so there's like, how many options have we got? It could be go further down, but we got, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 job classes.
I wanted to ask what
Whoa, wait. What did I just see?
Wanted to ask what...
Oh, wood, okay.
What inspired the choice to add that, especially
Black
this
Mage.
late into the trilogy? And were there any other Final Fantasy games you looked at for inspiration or any certain direction that you wanted to go with that?
ここはやっぱりこのリベレーション
So on this, when this was in discussions with Endo-san, the battle director, also for Revelation, and when we were discussing, what kind of combat system we wanted for this third title, we did think that, completely omitting something and putting in.
We're not
something
seeing a
entirely
great deal of
new,
Cloud fight.
may
It's like
not
they're showing a
be,
lot of the
so fun
Cloud
for
not
players
being
who
there
have really
part.
enjoyed the prior combat
And they show Cloud
systems
just as I say
leading
that.
up to this title, and so we really, from early on, we did want to decide on like building upon the existing foundation, kind of evolving on what we have currently created. And so from that, it's not so much that we were set upon creating like, okay, let's make a job system, but it was more so that we looked at Cloud, characters like Cloud and Aerith, these characters that have a certain characteristic that the players are aware of. And then usually, we'll look to customize those abilities by adding on materia and such. But then for Revelation, we really wanted that like ability to customize and be able to play a character as a player wishes to be a large part of the game. And that would make the experience much more fun as well. In that way, the job system is included for players to be able to take a character like Cloud, for example, who we may think of as a warrior type, but he might be able to be a black mage on top of that, and then with his action abilities, unleashes a whole dearth of possibilities.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Should they have added that? Makes you feel uneasy. I'm not against it. I'm actually not against it. I'm actually excited to see what they do with it. But yeah, I'm a bit how you going about it. But I've got faith. I mean, I've enjoyed the combat in the previous two, so yeah.
So to follow up with that,
what do you know what it could be, right? We could, I reckon, do you know this is what it is. This is what it is. I have said for so long, all right? Actually, this would be a good question. Chat, somebody in chat asked me right now, hey, Pez, what do you think about the new job system in Final Fantasy VII Revelations? Go and ask me right now. Get it over. Ask me that right now. We're gonna turn this into a video. Who wants to be in the video? Write that question. You get in the video. He's all typing away. Hey, Pez, what do you think about the new job system in Final Fantasy VII Revelations? That's a good question, Zodi. That's probably the best question we've ever had. So, I'm a big believer that Final Fantasy 17 is going to have a job system, okay? But how are they going to test how the job system would work in a new Final Fantasy mainline? They'll put it in a current one. And when people are going to buy Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 regardless, so why not field test a potential new job system for the next Final Fantasy game in Rebirth? I reckon what we are seeing here, what's the word? We are stress testing the new job system that's going to be in Final Fantasy 17. That's what we're looking at right here. That is absolutely what we're looking at. You're talking absolute crazy. There's no way. That's what I reckon. I reckon this is what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. I reckon, maybe not perfect, but I reckon that is what we are looking at. Absolutely.
Have a certain characteristic. Really want is included for players
where we're at. Okay.
Players be able to use any of the jobs in the game. And could you also tell me a bit more about, I know we've seen Black Mage, but are there other jobs that you can talk about at this point?
So there's going to be 4 different fits, that's what we call them, that each character is going to be able to equip. And then we've introduced Black Mage and Warrior so far, and there is going to be more that we hope people will be excited for.
A Revelation is said to be...
Sorry, I just got to point this out. How sick does the Orochu look? Lord Orochu? Is that what they call it? Ochu? But look at the fact, like how fucking... Imagine just walking along outside and you stop in a bush to take a piss, and then all of a sudden you piss on the edge of this thing right here, and then just go, eat you up. You pee nowhere ever again. And look at what looks like the mold and the fading in it, like on the edges. That's a cool design. And it nearly like mimics. Maybe these things are I got a theory. Maybe these things are appearing more like, see how obviously like this looks very like earthish design. Maybe these things, like not weapons, but like more violent monsters are appearing in the world after the weapon. Because obviously Cloud's back into the game now, so this is when the weapons have been released. But maybe we're looking at like more monsters that are appearing on the ground that are more violent. So.
And there is going to be more that we hope.
Some of the criticism leveled at Rebirth in terms of it almost being too big and there being too much to do and too many mini games. How do you balance having this even larger world with keeping the game's momentum and the story's momentum? Was the feedback from Rebirth something that you considered when building and designing Revelation?
そうですね。まあやっぱりこうミニゲームに関して
So, of course, you know, with Rebirth, we did notice the variety of feedback that we received from players about the mini games, the types, and their quantity.
I actually
So we
like the
were
frog
aware of
game.
that. And at the same time, you know, this the remake series is a sort of homage to the original Final Fantasy VII game. And so when we set upon creating Revelation, it was really never our intent to reduce or, you know, decrease the number of mini games. We were more so thinking, how can we best deliver these games to the players today within the third title? And we felt that, you know, if the mini games were optional, yet they were, you know, heavily tied to character growth, and that, like, you would have to play them in order to let your character, you know, grow some more, it would feel less optional.
Oh, what?
And so in Revelation, we took care to kind of like grow some, play them in order to let your character, you know, grow some more.
Oh, that's cool that Yuffie could like zip
It would
around.
feel less optional. And so in Revelation, we took care.
Oh, this is the what do you call it? This is the scene inside of in the torture chamber, or where they release the gas on Tifa. That's crazy. I was wondering if they were going to do that.
To kind of like lighten that necessity a bit more. To
Oh,
make
she
it
gets out,
easier for
spoiler.
Players to kind of play the mini games at their own will. So you know.
What the fuck? Oh! Did you see what I saw?
Easier for players to kind
Oh, there's a materia hiding right
of
there.
play the mini games at their
Saw that? Oh, the parachute. So they parachuted back into the snow.
own will.
Oh, what are we looking at? We don't see a name. So this would be Genova. So this would be the Genova that they fight just before we go into the North Crater, like at the end, at the start of this too. Hasn't got a fucking head. So this is the body. This is the body, or it could be. What's their HP at? It's pretty low, and they've only got like one limit bar. This is the one without the. So this is the body without the head. No head, two boobs, got to be Genova. So yeah, we're actually looking at the actual mass that got its head removed. That's crazy.
So you know, it might be tied more to like character skins that you can gain through.
That's a fat chocobo. Like, it's not the fat chocobo,
More
but
to like character skins
that's a fat looking chocobo. I'll point that out.
that you can gain through playing
Oh, I
these
did a
mini
pee.
games. And so players that want to, you know, customize their characters more.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Did he just... Is Barrett okay?
Mini games, and so players that want to, you know, customize their characters more.
That guy liked it too. Look at his face. What a
And
cock.
are more interested in that parts of the gaming
What the
experience.
fu- what-
And
wait,
so
whoa,
players
whoa,
that
whoa,
want
whoa.
to, you know, customize their characters more and are
The Highwind has a fucking cannon? When the fuck did the Highwind get a cannon?
more interested in
It's going up against
That
Ultima Weapon
parts
too.
of the gaming experience. Can feel free to, you know, engage more in the mini games, whereas people that might want to kind of strengthen and delve more into the battle experience, we have more of that like specifically tied to the battles. And so in that way, I think that's one point that's really been kind of updated and differentiated for.
What the fuck is this ad? What the hell? Can I let me just skip that.
And you mentioned this is an homage to Final Fantasy VII.
Wow, I didn't know that
to
was
the
in Final
original game.
Fantasy VII.
And when I think of Revelation and what I assume will be in there, there's so many fantastic moments and set pieces.
awkward.
One of my favorites is the slap fight between Tifa and Scarlet. And there's just so many funny things too. So I was just wondering, what were maybe some of the moments that you were most excited to recreate in this modern engine, and to have people
I found your channel last night while taking a break from Final Fantasy IX. Love your shorts. Also, target ads. Targeted. Yeah, mate, I do like fiery redheads with a nice booty. Maybe that's, it could be.
experience once
You might be right. You might be right.
ティファとこうスカーレットのこう
There's just
Thank
so
you for the
many
nice
scenes
words.
and
Welcome in.
elements that are an homage to the original that it's so hard to choose. But if I were to speak on one, I'd like to talk
Damn.
about the weapons. And, we see some of them in the trailers that we showed yesterday. And so when you think about the weapons, you have to think about, are we going to show them at actual scale? How are we going to...
Whoa, what are we doing here?
About the weapons, you have to think about, are we going to
Okay, I was like, oh, we're watching Shin rotate this, but the party's actually using these weapons.
show them at actual scale?
Okay. So it's got this little propeller that's holding it up, and I wonder what it's doing.
How are you going to achieve presenting them in Revelation?
Oh, wait, did they just heal it?
Achieve presenting them in Revelation.
It's like it just healed the arm and then the head. So it's like that we're trying, maybe our job is to keep that weapon alive, because this is the friendly weapon that protected Tifa, right, in the previous game. It's almost as if it's like we're trying to protect that weapon while it's destroying the Shinra camp. That's what it looks like.
And in the original, when we see them in the world map, it's just not that strange to see them at that size. But when we think about the remake series, we did have to address, how best to represent them and present them in that way.
Flame, do you recommend newer Final Fantasy games? Only action RPGs I've played, Kingdom Hearts series have always been turn-based. I think, a lot of people don't like Final Fantasy 16 because it's not turn-based. People kind of fell off 13 and 15. But here's the thing, they're not bad games. The thing is, when you're trying to hold them up to hold a candle beside the Golden Age, they just don't do it. But I would say they're good games to play. They're just go into it with an open mind that you're not about to play something that feels like it was made from the Squaresoft era.
And I think the way that we chose to do so.
Oh my god! Look how fucking sick he looks! Oh my god! Fuck, that thing knows how to cook a sausage. That is a fucking alpha right there. Look at the fucking horn on its head. Oh, that's Pacific Rim level kaiju. Fucking how good does the sapphire weapon look? Oh my god! Look at its chest.
So we'll be.
Oh my god, I'm about to come.
Fuck.
Oh, you missed. Wait, how did you miss that? Wait, they miss?
The way that we chose to do so.
Like he's right in front of it.
Like a great one and fun one.
Oh, I took his wing off.
To experience for the players, and so I believe the weapons is.
Oh, he's thin too. Look at that. He watches. He's bloody. He goes to Weight Watchers. Damn. So they shot off his. Damn. Fuck. This is very spoilerish.
To look out for.
Oh my god! Look at the destruction! Oh my god! Look at the destruction on that. Do you reckon there was a dude walking his dog up on that hill? Oh, that guy got. If there's anybody on that hill, you fucking just turned to ash. Oh my god.
Experience for the players, and so I believe the weapons is something
oh my god.
To look out for.
Amazing. It's
like the atmosphere has been set on fire. Oh, that's sick. That could have been a cum load. That's just an explosive cum from fucking the sapphire weapon. Oh my god.
Funny, that was something that stuck out to me so much. It was one of those things where I saw the weapons and I was like, this is exactly how I imagined them.
Noted. I'll check them out then, especially since my wife already owns them, so I don't have to buy. Hell yeah, there you go.
When I was a kid.
Yeah, you just got to find time to play them, I guess.
My final question is, with this being the last part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, does it really feel like you're saying goodbye to Final Fantasy VII, or is this something where you're hoping to revisit this again in the future? I mean, I know you probably can't talk too much about that, but does this feel like you're closing the book or just the end of this first part?
そうですね、難しい質問ですね。ただ
So, in terms of the FF7 remake series in itself, it does conclude with Revelation for this trilogy. Of course, we've had a lot of voices from fans, wanting to explore the stories or side stories of other characters or, other parts of the story as well. So that is something that is interesting. But we did want to, bring the sort of third and conclusion that everyone has been waiting for as soon as possible. So we really focused our efforts on bringing Revelation as soon as we can.
Amazing. Thank you both so much.
That was a good interview. Who did the interview on that? Jesse Cogwell. That was a good interview. I actually like that one. Good stuff. All right, now we want to do the Maximilian one. I've been looking forward to this one. All right, I've never really kind of dual watched streams like this before, interviews. So I'll just give a shout out to, if you want to go watch the full interview here without me stopping and starting, go to Maximilian Dude. He sits down with Hamaguchi. It is a fucking really good interview. So yeah, I've been told it's a really good interview, but yeah, we're just going to be reacting to this. So yeah, I love his intros. How sick are his intros? I gotta get an intro like this. I think he was like the first channel I ever followed.
Hamaguchi-san, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And just a quick introduction. Thank you so much for being in and helping out and being a part of this and making the announcement a reality. So, you guys are going to have a very busy Summer Games Fest, I imagine.
So I'm just looking at his room. Like, how sick. I had that poster as a kid. The cloud one on the right. Oh my god.
I don't want to take too much of your time. I think for a lot of us, the fact that you ended up showing as much as you did, I think I was expecting like a minute teaser. But what was the intention behind having so much at the start? Was there just a lot you guys were holding back? Was that it?
そうですね。今回はその比較的ファイナルファンタジー7って一般的にユーザーがストーリーとかキャラクターのゲームっていう印象が強くて、むしろリバースも含めてリベレーションもですけど、やっぱりゲーム体験としても非常に深いゲーム内容になってるんで、そこを今回しっかり伝えたいっていうところで、ものすごく情報量を多く最初に出すっていうところは結構意識してやってます。
Yeah, and obviously a couple of the biggest elements focusing on weapons and exploration seem to be a really big deal. How are you feeling on the exploration?
I like how Max is just sitting here. Oh, they're all wearing their socks. I was going to say Max is just wearing his socks.
Exploration side of things, because it's one side that was
playing with
extremely fun.
Sorry, I love Max, but it's just so funny.
Seemed to be a really big deal.
He's just like talking to Hamaguchi. Wait, I gotta. Watch Hamaguchi's eyes. Ready?
Exploration seemed to be a really big deal.
I thought he was gonna look at him like playing with his feet.
On the exploration.
Sorry. It's just so funny. He's sitting there talking to Hamaguchi. It just shows like how casual it is, but it's so funny. We're just watching him sitting there rubbing his feet ways.
Side of things, because it's one side that was extremely fun in Rebirth, and Rebirth went kind of out of its way to make sure we see everything. Is that going to be changing a little bit in Final Fantasy VII Revelation?
Likewise with Rebirth and Revelation as well, the exploration is going to be a large part of that and remains unchanged. Oh, good. And there's going to be an exciting place like Wutai, Wutai Rocket Town, where I will be in.
これまでの既存のエリアっていうのもやっぱり同じように出てきます。やっぱその同じ
So of course when you want players to experience these areas
前回
again,
と同じリバースと同じ探索だとやっぱどうしてもユーザーが
we want them to have a new experience that's different.
思ってしまうと思うので
I kind of want it to be the same, but I do want it new. From the last time, so there are two things that we did differently.
一つ目はその
The first one being the introduction of meteor and weapons,
各地がこう地殻変動
and even within the same location.
そのマップであっても
And same map is
前
different
作
from
リバースとは
Rebirth.
違うようにしています。もう一個はワールドマップの
The second one being
探索の
expansiveness
こう手触りという
of the
か
exploration.
そのゲーム体験っていうのが 前作、まあ、オープンワール
Even so more than
多分
Rebirth.
結構広いけど、その広い中をあちこちこう。
Do you know? No one's mentioned anything, but we're going to get to go to Fort Condor in this one too. So we're really focused on an open world experience.
のはまあリバース比較的多かったんですけど、今回は映像にもあったパラシュートでこう落下してきたり、
But there
ちょ
you'll
っと
see there's
すごく
footage
成
of
長する
being
こ
able
と
to
で
parachute
こう
down.
空をもう自由に飛べるようになったりするんですね。
Also
それ
by
で
growing the
旅行の広場
chocobos,
で
you
こう
can
高
wait,
さ
wait. What the fuck did you just say? Also, by growing the chocobos, you can fly around quite freely. We're gonna be able to get chocobos to fuck. Yes. Breed 'em, baby.
も取り入れた探索っていうのが今作は実現できているので、またこう
I'm really upset. I have to spend almost 240 on a game that should be 50. Shut up, idiot.
リバースよりもリベレーションもう一歩なんかこうスケールの広いこうオープンワールドのゲーム体験ができるように
So in that way, we really scaled up.
なったかなっていう手応えがあります。
Seems like this is going to be pretty big, and you guys are already kind of masters at scaling down the size of the game with the Switch 2 version. The size of the game went down significantly from the PlayStation 5. This probably...
Duncan, do you realize? Alright, I'm just gonna let you. Okay. Now I've got to buy it maybe 4 times. You know, it's a 3-parter. Okay, each part of the game is exceptionally bigger than the first one. Technology has changed quite a lot.
going to be pretty large. Do you guys have any general idea how massive it might be? Because
How massive with the
When
game?
your kid is sick,
Ah.
there's a wait.
Is this an ad? What? Oh, I was gonna say, is this an ad for McDonald's? When a kid's sick, but Ronald McDonald House. I always put money in.
I have a bet running right now that it might be like a 3-disc game or something like that, similar to the old one.
ディスクのってことね。
OG7 had 3
そうですね
discs.
まあ原作
But right now, you know, within the development, we are trying.
で3枚でこう構成さ
That's
れて
it.
たので
Develop, like the last game,
まあ我々も今
decision
こ
about
うど
being
こ
the
まで
size
の
of the
サイズ
game.
でこう収まるかっていうのをこう開発チーム内でもギリギリの調整をしているのでまあどういう形で皆さんにお届けできるかそこは楽しみにしてもらいたいです。
I reckon.
We did
I wonder if this
see,
will get
a
delayed.
lot
It's
of
such a
focus on
fucking.
weapons
It
as
looks so well.
interesting
Well, they've
in
said
the
they've
trailer
actually
as well.
played like from start to finish.
Weapon fights seem to have a lot of unique interactions outside of the cinematic stuff. It was always a joke. Are we just gonna hit them in the shins and the feet the whole time? And it seems like you guys have some pretty big plans for these big fights. Is that something that you're sort of anxious to show off in the future, or is there anything you can talk about how do we fight things that are the size of buildings?
そうですね、まあ、まだ今はちょっとそんなにこう全てをお伝えしない方がいいかなとは思うんでこう詳細はこうまだ伏せておきますけどただ一個そのウェポン戦
Yeah,
を
I'm gonna. It's one of those things I want to kind of like do. Maybe I want to kind of break this one down a little bit more. But I reckon what we'll do. We've kind of like everything we've kind of like been looking at here. We've kind of got answers for. I don't think they should name it Revelation. Like we're kind of doing a breakdown of it, but it definitely feels like Revelation is a good name for it from like going into the unknown. But yeah, I think it'll be a I don't know, I think it'll be a banger. But anyway, we've done our trailer breakdown, but that was interesting. That was interesting. Especially that GameSpot interview was good. I'm going to watch the Max interview a little bit later. But yeah. Anyway, okay. All right, so we've gone over our first topic for the night, the Final Fantasy VII Revelations breakdown. But now let's move on to our next topic for Sunday's Confessions is who's giving me 27 subs? Well, anybody? No? Okay, cool. Now, the next topic we're moving on to is Revelations theories. Okay, so we know going into Revelations there's going to be so many different things going into this. And I've already got one of my theories is that this new job system they're using is literally to stress test a new job system for the next Final Fantasy game. I believe Final Fantasy 17 might pull back the job system. And I think what we might be seeing is a sliver of what it could be. That's why I think they're stress testing it in this game. My theories are as well that we are going to return. I thought about this for quite a while. Now, I think we're going to return to, I think it's like Hoenn Hodenheim or something like that. The snow research facility in Crisis Core. And I also feel like we are maybe potentially going to see Benora. I feel like we might see Benora, and I feel like we might see that location up in the Snowy Mountains. The reason why I think that, I didn't think that until I didn't see that until we got to that they were showing snippets on that what do you call it, GameSpot interview where they showed them parachuting into a snowy area. I reckon that might have to do with that, because there's nowhere else you would parachute in story-wise in the snowy area, because you're not parachuting into the North Crater, you know. Then again, they might. I know. I feel like we're going to return there, but I feel like we're going to go to Benora, and I have a feeling Genesis might appear in some way. If he doesn't appear, like, here's the thing. I don't think it's the end of the world if Genesis doesn't appear. But if I want him to appear, but it won't be the end of the world if he doesn't. I'll be kind of a bit annoyed, but it's not a big deal. But to have Nero and Vice appear in the DLC for Remake and not have Genesis, I find it weird that they didn't have like an intergrade for Rebirth. I find that wild. Absolutely wild that they didn't have that. I'd love to see Genesis appear. Be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool. Maybe a special boss like Zack vs. Jet. Maybe. You know, because I feel like Zack. I mean, Zack's on the poster. You know, so Zack's going to be playable again. Well, no. Here's the thing. The voice actor and the face model for Genesis is a Japanese pop star called Gacket. And he put a tweet out not that long ago saying that he just recently reprised a role. So I have a feeling that Gacket will be in it. Not Gacket. I feel that Genesis will be in it. Anywho, have my babies. Oh, you love me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mega Flare. I actually never beaten Final Fantasy VII, sadly. I wish I'd beat it before jumping into Remake. Oh my god, you should play it. It's so good. It's so good. I think they should have skipped the Plant Integrate DLC for Rebirth to work on Revelation to get it. Yeah. Oh, you think they said that? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, there you go. There you go. That makes sense then. That absolutely makes sense then. But yeah, does anybody else have any crazy theories? And also, too, if you had any questions earlier that you want me to ask and they'll potentially be made into a short, let me know. Yeah, I can put it out there, but I need a fucking drink. I feel like I've been talking for hours. Do you think we'll get a remake of Advent Children? I don't know. I kind of want them to, but I don't think... I think Square... Here's the thing. I think Square's too scared to do it, you know? Like, I know Advent Children and, what do you call it? Kingsglaive didn't, you know, set the world on fire, and... if I was Square Enix, I would still have PTSD from post-traumatic stress from Spirits Within. So, like, I hope they do. It's just here's the thing. I would probably love for here's the thing. I would absolutely love for them to do Advent Children, but actually, this is I'm going to turn this one into a question. I'm going to redo this one. Sorry. DJ has a question. DJ says, "Do you think we'll get a remake of Advent Children?" That's a really good question. You know, that's probably one of the best questions we've ever had. Look, I don't know if we're going to get it. I know Square is not exactly very pro movies. You know, after everything that happened with Spirits Within, I'm sure they'd have post-traumatic stress from that. But in saying that, they did go on to make Advent Children and Kingsglaive. And they were good movies. I love them. But you know, they didn't set the world on fire. But I would love for them to do it. I got no reason why I don't want them to do it. You know, I'd give anything just to see anything more within the world and the universe of Final Fantasy VII. So, do I think they'll do it? I genuinely don't know. Do I want them to do it? Absolutely. Who doesn't want to see more Tifa? I'm just putting it out there. Who doesn't want to see more Tifa? Anyway, Spirits was great. Shut up. Not really a theory, but I'm curious to see how the weapon dies since it didn't dodge the Junon. Well, they did fire the cannon twice. They do fire the cannon multiple times. So what I think we're seeing is just like an extra like action to it. Like, oh, it dodged, but then it moved its head back into the to the firing ground. So that's my theory. But yeah, DLC episode will be good. Do you think? Where are we at? Actually, let me get a screenshot of that too before I forget. A few good questions tonight too, chat. Thank you, everybody. Oh wait, I've lost it. Where is it? I've completely lost the question. Where is it? Right, there you are. Screenshot. Okay, gotcha. All right. Do you think there's a character in any Final Fantasy that can stand up to ridiculous power scale in animes like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, for example? Yes, that's a good question. How do I pronounce your name? Relsinka? Relsinka? Did I pronounce it right? Okay. We have a question in from Relsinka. Do you think there's a character in any Final Fantasy that can stand up to some ridiculous power scaling characters in animes like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, for example? That's a really good question, actually. It's probably one of the best questions we've ever had. I absolutely reckon there is one character that could stand up to them. And the one character that I would put forward, and it's an unlikely character, but it has to be Caius Ballard from Final Fantasy 13-2. Caius has this thing called like the Heart of Chaos, which essentially makes him pretty much immortal. Like he can live for eternity. He pretty much gives up this power because he's sick of watching the love of his life die over and over and over and over again. His whole character motivation for being a bad guy is honestly justified. But I would say outside of Caius, and honestly, if you don't believe me, go watch the fight scene between Caius and Lightning. It's so cool at the start of 13-2. But another character I would have to put up there would have to be between Noctis. Actually, do you know what? I reckon 3 other characters that would honestly get honorable mentions in this would have to be Lightning. Lightning from 13. Noctis from 15, and obviously Clive from 16. That whole everything in I think the reason why they made Final Fantasy 16 action RPG is not because they're like, oh, that's what the audience want. It's because how can you have a character that is that insane that can do all that crazy shit and go up against like these massive beasts on a crazy power scale without doing an action turn-based? But I absolutely believe it would be Lightning, Noctis, and Clive would be characters that would go up against characters like Naruto and Goku. But I think Goku would trump everybody in every Final Fantasy. But I think, if anything, I think Caius would single-handedly be one of like the character I would put forward. Absolutely Caius. But what do you reckon? That was a good question. Thank you for that one. All right, what else we got? Okay, yeah, so theories. Does anybody have any other theories? If not, we can always come back to it. What's your opinion on Sephiroth having a different voice actor? Well, here's the thing. They didn't do it by choice. You know, the character, the guy who voiced Sephiroth just couldn't do it. That's just simply it. Like, I think we can. I'm not having a go at you, by the way. I think everybody can get upset and shitty about it, but the reality is, it's just they couldn't get him. Like that's just it. He wasn't available. So they tried to find somebody who was similar, but also could make the role their own. And I don't watch Critical Role. I'm not a big fan of watching Dungeons and Dragons. You know, I'd rather play it. So I know I appreciate everything they do, but I have been told the dude's an exceptional voice actor. But there's always going to be negativity around that sort of stuff. All right. Okay, next topic. I'm going to be honest, chat. I'm feeling a little bit in the guts, so I don't know how long we're going to be streaming for. So next question is Square Enix next major project. All right. So when I say Square Enix's next major project, obviously we talk about maybe whatever the next potential remake might be. It could be Final Fantasy 17. It could be the next Nier game. It could be anything. But I would like to know what you guys think would be the next title. My theories are it's going to be Final Fantasy 17 or it's going to be Final Fantasy 9 remake. Or it could be Kingdom, or it could be Kingdom Hearts. It could be Kingdom Hearts, but I think hell would freeze over. It's totally a Dirge of Cerberus remake, hand to God. I would play the shit out of it. I would play the shit out of it. When are we gonna get a black age for Final Fantasy? Oh, black main character for Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's another thing. We haven't had a black main character. It's obviously Final Fantasy X remake and Final Fantasy X. Yeah. Yeah, well, they say they have come forward and said in multiple times that Final Fantasy X-3, the story's written. Like the game's not made, but the story's written. They have the story ready to go. But it could be trolling. Who knows? I want a 13 trilogy update for PS5. Doesn't have to be a remake. Yeah, that's another thing. I want 13 to be accessible. It's crazy that 13 isn't remastered and accessible for a lot of people. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy that 13 isn't accessible. Another thing, Final Fantasy this year, Final Fantasy 15 has hit its 10-year anniversary. That's crazy. 10-year anniversary of Final Fantasy 15. And Square Enix won't do anything with it. Square Enix won't do a remaster, like a upgrade or anything like that, because they're trying to bury it. Honestly, they're not even celebrating themselves. It has to be Final Fantasy Mythic Quest remake. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. I feel like a lot of people don't play Mystic Quest because obviously it's a bit hard to get to, but it's people look at it like, oh, it looks a little too old. I kind of want a Final Fantasy 15 sequel for the next major project. Well, here's the thing. With 15, right, they've come out and kind of said that 15 is not the game they wanted to make. They literally... The game we got for 15, which was literally everything slapped together. It's like, we just got to get it out the door. And that's why a lot of stuff didn't make sense. DLCs came late. They actually killed off canon DLC because they're like, we've just got to bury this game. Like, they tried to salvage it and it's nothing. It's not a bad game, but man, it's like... You'll never see Square Enix really put love out there. But if anything, here's what I want. And I'm not saying this because we're just recently playing it. But I really do wish that they do revisit Xenogears. Like, for a game that was, like, so good, that is so incomplete. Like, a game that they just didn't have time to finish, but is, like, universally loved by everybody that played it. How are we not getting a Xenogears? Like, we definitely need a Xenogears. And here's what I think we should do. Here's absolutely what I feel like we should do. Give the license, give the IP to Sandfall, alright? Let Sandfall take Xenogears and fucking make it. We've seen that Sandfall can make Squaresoft games, alright? Not Square Enix, Squaresoft games. Give him that. Give him a fucking... buy him a building, go build Xenogears in this, and let them build it out. If Xenogears played like Clair Obscur, I wouldn't give a shit. Just that needs to be done. Like, that needs to be acceptable. What's Xenogears? Xenogears is a game that came out on the PS1. It was a banger. It was an absolute banger. Absolute banger of a game. But yeah, does anybody else, like... That's actually a really good question. I want to turn that into a question. Can somebody say, well, how do we make this? How do we make this into a clip? Somebody asked me. So here we go. Somebody asked me, Pez. How do we Pez? I got one. Pez. Someone say, Pez, how do you, Pez, something along the lines like, Pez, what do you want Square Enix to focus on next? Yeah, something like that, yeah. But how do we make this? There is no way Square Enix will remake Final Fantasy 13 series. It'll end up like 7. I could see them No, we don't want them to remake it. We want them to remaster it. If we said remake, I apologize, but we want them to remaster 13. Like, we just want them to remaster 13. We don't want them to remake. There's absolutely... Square won't remakes. Even though 13 is one of their top selling. But I think everyone bought 13 because they were just so excited for a new Final Fantasy. But yeah. Yeah, they deserve. Yeah, 13 deserves it. 13 does deserve it. It's definitely that title everybody hated on launch, but now it's been a while. Everybody loves it now. So you love Squared to remake Breath of Fire. Yeah. Well, for those that don't know, Square Enix. So Capcom actually. So Capcom was the devs on Breath of Fire 1 and 2, but Square Enix published it. But then with Breath of Fire 3, Capcom developed and published Breath of Fire 3. So yeah. No, that would be really good to see him. And we kind of have this is kind of like a group discussion moving into the final topic. And apologies, chat, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming for. I'm not feeling too well. My stomach's a bit... But can the golden age of RPGs return? All right. So, one's in the chat on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. If you know what the golden age of RPGs are, do you understand what the golden age is? Do you know what the golden age is? Are we heading there? Are we too far gone? Etro could be the villain of 13-4. Yeah. Well, I mean, like Final Fantasy 13 ended with all the souls from them coming to our Earth. The 90s was. Yeah, the 90s was the golden age. So, yeah, the golden age of RPGs from between the age of, what'd they say? It was 1987 to 2001. That was the golden age of RPGs. And we have been trying to chase that ever since. Now, games like Clair Obscur feel like we've been bringing it back. Here's the thing. I feel like the golden age of RPGs is something that all of us that ride nostalgia, that go, oh, you know, it was way better back in my day, is simply what we're seeing there. The golden age, here's the reality is, the golden age of RPGs is still here. It's still here. It hasn't left. Okay? It's those that were there then saying it's the golden age of RPGs. In 10 years, the people that were growing up playing video games today are going to say, today was the golden age of RPGs. It's always going to happen. It's always going to be like that. And then when we're dead and gone, people aren't going to be sitting there fighting and promoting the 90s. They're going to be talking about the 2000s and the 2010s and 2020s. You know, that's the answer. That's the absolute answer to what we're talking about here. Anyway, chat. I feel like we got kind of that was a good stream tonight. Would you be okay if the team who made Final Fantasy? Would you be okay if the team who made Xenoblade series to remake Final Fantasy VI, or them to make the original? I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm currently playing Xenoblade X for the first time, and I don't know how I feel about it. Actually, do you know what? If you said Final Fantasy 3, 4, 5, I would probably say yes. But I don't want anybody that isn't the core team, the OG dogs, to touch Final Fantasy 6. I don't trust anybody with it. And I feel like the Xenoblade team would make it a little too, how do I put it? A little too uwu in a sense. Honestly, I would have more faith in the Persona, the guys from Persona. What are the devs from if there was any non-Square Enix dev team that I would trust to touch that game, it would probably be the team that makes bloody Persona and Metaphor. What are they called? I'm pulling blanks here. Like, I would trust them more than I would trust the Xenoblade team. So I don't like the way Xenoblade's gone. I really wish they'd pull it back. Anyway, chat. I'm gonna call it early. I am not feeling too great. I've been pretty sick this afternoon, so I'm gonna go lay down. I'm gonna go watch some Ted Lasso and lay in bed and take some pills and chill out. Metaphor ReFantasia, yeah, that one. But yeah, no, tonight was a good stream. It was a chill stream. It was good to chat about it. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow night with Final Fantasy 14. We gotta get ready for the next raid. We got to stream. We got to stream on Tuesday with Sarah. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. But yeah, no, thanks for hanging out, chat. Yeah, I mean, they brought me into this Final Fantasy 14 Discord, so I'm kind of like meeting all these other Final Fantasy 14 players. So they're kind of like giving me the what. But yeah. Anywho, chat. Until then, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go to bed. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend or had a wonderful weekend. If you live in Australia, it's a public holiday tomorrow, so don't try to go to work. Everywhere else in the world, love you all, appreciate you all, and I hope you have an amazing day.